Hey guys, it's Andy here. I just wanted to show you a really cool new tool that I discovered this morning actually that is very, very cool for doing visual graphics, visual marketing graphics for Pinterest, social media sites, Instagram, Facebook, etc., etc., etc. But this software, this software as a service, also does things for presentations, posters. It'll even do your templates for Facebook covers, blog graphics, Twitter cards, business cards. So you can do a whole bunch of things with this. And what I like about it is if you spend any time on Facebook, you notice that you see a lot of brands, a lot of companies posting very visual. Photographic quotes, inspirational things, information graphics, those kind of things that are very visual that really stand out in people's news feed. So what I wanted to do today was just to show you a little bit about how this service called Canva at canva.com works. And I just wanted to run through a quick example. And if you'll notice that in each one of these cases for social media, for example, it's optimized. If you roll over the icon, it will show you that it's optimized for 800 pixels by 800 pixels. Pinterest is 35 pixels by 1102. So these things are already sized correctly. That's the cool part of it. So in the case of social media, if I want to make a little graphic that I can post on my Facebook page or in my Facebook feed, all I do is click on that icon. It will launch the editor. And you can see here that the editor brings up a bunch of different options. And what's cool about this software, it has a bunch of predefined designs that are already done that sort of you can use as starting points. And this interface is really, really simple to use. So it's flexible from the standpoint if you don't want to have to reinvent the wheel and design something from scratch, you can use one of these predefined designs. Or you have the ability to import your own stuff. You can upload your own images. Now, I should point out that they have premium images, which when you download them, you have to pay for like $1 or something for one of the premium images. Or they have free images, and it will show you if they're free or not. So you can see here there's all kinds of predefined things like shapes, icons, infographic elements, buttons, dress ups, animals. So there's all kinds of categories here that you can and just drag. I mean, simply, like for example, this one, say we wanted to, and then there's all kinds of subcategories. If I wanted to dress up my graphic, I can just drag this over and I have the ability to scale it up and down. I drag it in the corner. Oops. You can see there it goes. So you can see that you got some flexibility with all kinds of different design elements. But what I'm going to do here really quickly is to show you, and I should mention this account it's free to set up, so you can go in here and play around if you want. But the other day I found a really cool quote from Steve Jobs that I wanted to use on my own infographic. I actually use Photoshop for most of my stuff, but I want to demo this particular software for you. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do a search. And they have, I don't know, if you look at it, I think it says it has 1 million different graphics or 1 million different images or something. So they must be pulling it from stock image sites. But since my quote is from Steve Jobs, I'm going to just do a search for Apple. And what do you know? There's all kinds of Apple images, but there's also the Apple logo. So, oops, I don't want that one. So you've got the Apple logo here. And you can see if I just drag it or if I just click on it, it will pop it into the canvas. And I can just drag and resize this logo on my canvas. And you can see again that this is sized correctly just for social media sites at 800 pixels by 800 pixels. So there's our little image that we want to use. Now, let's see, let me go find my quote. Here it is. Let's go back to our canvas. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the text icon, and you can see here that it brings up a bunch of different text options. That, if I wanted to put this in, make it fancy and put it on a background or something, I could do that. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this really simple, and I'm just going to add. You can see it's got headline text, subtext, or subtitle text, and then body text. So I'm going to click on Add a Headline Text. You can see here that there's tons of fonts. I mean, there's just tons of different fonts. I kind of like this Archivo Narrow. Looks cool. So let's go ahead and we'll change the font. And then what we can do is you've got these handles. So we can change the width. And then you can change the positioning. And then you also have this for doing rotation, but we don't want to rotate it because we want to keep that readable. So I'm just going to go ahead and paste my copy in here. My quote rather, and it's starting to take shape. So what I can do, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this. So you've got some other tools here that allows you to add some formatting. So we're going to center it. I think what I'll do is I'll bold Steve Jobs' name, and then we can reposition this a little bit. And one of the key things when you do these visual post graphics, images, marketing posts, is you want to make sure that your own branding is on it. So when people see it in their news feed, they know that it came from you. So what I've done is, and you'll notice that there's an uploads button here on the far left hand side. So what I've done, or what I've done previously, is I've uploaded my little footer that I use on the other little graphics that I create in Photoshop. So what I can do is I can just drag this footer over, and I need to resize it just a little bit. So I'm going to hold down the Shift key and drag. So we can see now that we have this information graphic with my branding on it. We got the Steve Jobs quote. We got the Apple logo up here from the stock images. And this particular graphic is free. If we go back here, you can see it's got a little free tag on it. So this one's free to use. Whoops. I'm going to send that to the back because I want to reposition my text a little bit. Reposition this text up just a hair. And that looks pretty good. So now our next step is, once we're happy with everything, we can then link and publish. So, so unsaved changes. So we got to save it. I think if you click on this logo, it will save it. Oops. It brought us back to the home page. I think I clicked on that logo, brings you back. When you click on this, it brings you back. So let's go ahead and click on link and publish. So it gives us two options. We can either download the image, since we're going to use this on social media, that's what we want to do, or we can take this link, and since we're using a free image, it's not going to charge us anything. But if we were using one of their pre-designed with the stock photo, they're going to charge you like $1 or $2 to download it. So that's how they make their money. If you use the link, it's free, but it's going to have a link to Canva, so it has a little promotional value. So if you use this link, it's going to be free. It's just not going to look as cool. It has some other options here because you can actually do multiple pages if you want. Personally, I would use, if I was going to do a document with multiple pages, I would use a different piece of software, but you have the flexibility to do that with Canva, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and click on image. It's going to prepare it. It's going to download it, and it gives me a button I can download my design. All right, so here we are on my Facebook page. Now, if we go down to the status box and we want to upload a photo, I'm just going to go ahead and find the one that I just uploaded, or just downloaded rather. Uploads it here to the status update, and I'm not going to put anything, I'm not going to type anything in the box, so we're just going to go ahead and post it, and we're done. So that is a really easy way to create these visual marketing pieces for social media. is to use Canva. It's a really simple tool. You can use it for free. They do have some, might cost you a couple bucks here or there if you're going to use some of the premium stuff, but it's a great tool if you don't want to learn something like Photoshop. So there you have it. You know what? If you have any questions, you can email me at andy@andyrink.com or leave a message right on my Facebook page at Just Ask Andy. And if you like this video, I would love for you to share it with your friends or coworkers. And if you found any value, I'd love you to like it as well. So anyway, thanks again, and I look forward to talking to you soon.